What's up, guys? So, the Mini Cooper, as you can see, the hood is back up. Still on jack stands. Clutch, all that stuff is done. It's good. Tested it. Took it out for a drive. But then when I came back, I noticed like 2 days later, I had some fluid underneath the car, as you guys could see, towards the front. And I was wondering, what could that be? Because I didn't have fluid dripping before. So I know that I changed the power steering pump, which is prone to leak, about 1.5 years ago. Checked it out, it's good. So what I come to find out, it looks as if the leak is coming from the feed line for the power steering pump, which is a major part and a prone part to leak on the Mini Coopers, on the Mini Cooper S's. So what we're gonna do today, we're gonna change out the hose, the feed hose, and see if that remedies the issue. I'll check over the next couple days, make sure I don't have no kind of leaks, because I don't like leaks in my driveway or in my garage. It's annoying. So let's get to it. Sidebar. Got myself this tool case the other day, and I'm like totally in love with it. Finally got like all my tools in one place. It's almost full too, which is beautiful. Alright, so come in here. That's the reservoir. And let me see if I can show you guys. So if you look, if you guys could notice, the hose, as a matter of fact, wow, look at this. The hose is like partially off. So that could actually all be my issue. See, that's the problem when anytime you take out, you can see right in there. Let me see if I can point to it for you guys. Right there. You can see the hose is partially off. Alright guys, so come to find out, the line wasn't off. That's actually the high pressure line right there. And it was on, it was fine. It's just that there's like a little lower clamp that I saw, and I thought that it was halfway off, but the lines are on. So now, with the way that line looks though, I'm led to believe that this line is just not good. There is some sort of leak or something somewhere in this line, and that's what's causing. There's a flashlight. I'll show you guys. That's what's causing all that fluid stain right there. Besides what just drained out now, all those lines were just stained. And that's because one of these lines are not good. It's either the feed. The feed line though looks perfectly fine. I inspected it up and down, left, right, every side, and the feed line looks good. I will be checking for holes, I will put it in water and check for any air bubbles, but the feed line looks fine. So now you have to take the wheel off to get access to the high pressure line, which is that big top bolt. And as you can see, that high pressure line, it's like saturated with the fluid all the way around here. So I'm definitely led to believe that line is just no good. So I'm gonna pull the line out now and get a new line. I don't have the line yet, but I'm gonna get a new line and put the new line on. Alright guys, so this is the high pressure line that was just removed from the Mini. That you saw was filthy, and I actually cleaned it up before I put it on my workbench. This is just the feed line, and this is the reservoir. So as you saw, this line was completely filled with fluid and gook all the way up to the tip there. which leads me to believe, somewhere along this line, maybe around here, maybe up here. I don't know. I'm not sure until I do some sort of pressure test to these lines to even find out they're good. I want to pressure test them. Reason being is because these are very expensive lines. Like, I believe they're about $160 for just these two lines. Now, I don't want to go purchase these two lines if, in fact, one is good or one is not good, whatever the case is. Now, the reservoir, of course, I didn't want to rule that out, so I did clean it up. And, it could possibly also be my reservoir, because it's ironic that I cleaned it up and now I'm looking here along the seam and there's fluid here along the seam. So, that right there is a concern for me. I'm not sure if it leaked from this one or this one, but I'm going to do a pressure test on this as well. And, my test will let me know what exactly is bad, so I don't go spending money on something that, could be fine. As you can see, I did remove the heat shields from these, so if in fact they're good, I'll just rewrap them with new heat shield to protect them from the heat in the engine bay. What's up, guys? So I'm back a week later. This stuff has been sitting on my workbench for a week while I waited on FCP Euro. I know normally I do shop at ECS, but I found SCP Euro. I haven't shopped with them in a while. It's been a couple years. They always send me emails, but then something said, you know what? Just check to see if I could find these parts on their website. Sure enough, I found these parts on their website. They are aftermarket, but they're the same damn thing. And it is way cheaper than ECS was and everyone else was. Plus, they have a lifetime warranty. I'm not endorsed by I'm not endorsed or supported by FCP Euro, but hey, listen, I figure why not pass the savings on to you guys. You guys looking for any Euro parts for your cars, especially these Mini Coopers. As small as they are very expensive. If you own one, I'm sure you know. Shop with FCP, lifetime warranty. If anything breaks, you just send it back to them, and they send you a new one. Doesn't get any easier than that. But anyway, enough about that. Let's open this up because it's almost time to get to work. Alright guys, so here we go. I bought all brand new parts. I know I told you guys that normally all these brand new parts would cost almost $200 from everywhere, because these mini parts are just super expensive. But SCP had all these parts for $76. So $76 is how much I paid for this hose. This is the high pressure hose. This is the feed hose. And this is the reservoir, which you guys, you want to change your reservoir, because I was going to try to see if my reservoir was leaking and if it was the issue. But there is an internal filter inside these reservoirs. So I said, instead of me even trying to fix that, even if I did fix it, I still wouldn't be able to change the filter that's in the old one. So I just went and got the new one. Now, I guess FCP was feeling real generous, because as you can see, they sent the second reservoir. I have no use for a second reservoir. I don't know why they sent the second reservoir. My invoice has one reservoir on it. Somebody messed up. I'll call them up, and I'm sure they're going to tell me just keep it, because it'll probably cost more money to return this than it is to keep it. But anyway, these parts are super cheap from SCP. Like I said, they come with lifetime warranty. They give you the clamps, the one-time use clamps, which I might not even use because I like the screw clamps instead. But yeah, I mean, you know, I'm sure to not have a leak now that I'm changing everything to brand new versus trying to test everything. I did attempt to try to pressure test the high pressure hose, but there is nothing that I have that I can simulate enough pressure for that high pressure hose. So I wasn't going to truly find out if the high pressure hose was a problem, or if the feed hose was a problem, or if the reservoir was a problem. So to remedy the problem, got all new stuff. So it's time to get to work and get all this on the car, start the car up, test it all out. All right, guys, so what I did was I actually put this together, took the mounting bracket off of the old reservoir and put this together on the workbench, because it's extremely hard to clamp this clamp and clamp that clamp once it's on the car. So put it together on your workbench first. Then my only issue will be clamping this down on the power steering pump. But I'm going to use one of these standard clamps because it's a lot easier to try to use this and clamp it up than it is trying to use one of these crimping clamps that comes with the package. So when you slide these holes on, they're very hard to go on. So a little trick that you do is get a little bit of power steering fluid and just wipe it on the nipples and wipe a little bit on the inside of the hose, and then you'll be able to slide it up a lot easier. Trying to put it on without no power steering, without no lubrication, you're going to be in trouble. Always lube up. Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing for this side. And this side is simple. This side goes on a rack and pinion with the bolts. Don't forget, when you put the high pressure hose on, to put one of these washers on the inside and one of these washers on the outside. Because if you don't, you will be leaking. It's mandatory that you put these two washers on the side of any banjo type hoses. So for this, I'm just going to go to reverse. I'm going to take all this assembly, I'm going to stick it down there. If you can see, you see the reservoir hole, the hole for the power steering pump right there. So the feed hose is just going to go right on top of that. And then the high pressure hose is going to go around the back underneath this hose. It's going to come around. Where are we at? It's going to come around to right there. Right around the power steering, right around the rack and pinion. And it's going to go right up. Gonna hook it up right back into the rack and pinion right here. Alright guys, so it was a little bit challenging to get in, but all the hoses in the correct places. I end up using a regular clamp up on top this side because boy, I hate those crimping clamps. But I'm gonna just fill the reservoir now. Fill the reservoir. Check to make sure there's no leaks. The banjo bolt has been bolted up. Everything is pretty much put back together. The car is ready to get off jack stands finally after however many weeks, because I was doing other stuff on this car as well. Changing the clutch, Just little maintenance here and there. But yeah, I mean, that's really it, guys. Everything is fresh, everything is new. I don't foresee any leaks coming from, you know, all these new parts that I just put on here now. I have a new pump. Was a year and a half or so. Was a new pump was put in. All right, guys. So that wraps up the power steering lines changed on the Mini Cooper, the Mini Cooper S. Forgot to tell you guys, make sure that you use this Pentacin CHF 11S power steering fluid. This is the only power steering fluid that you want to use in any BMW. As you know, the Mini's a BMW. Some people still don't know that. But using anything else, you're gonna have problems. It's a little pricey, but you know, it's the only way you can go. So as you can see, the top, I took the top off this because I actually had these. I had, you know, extra laying around. So it comes with this plastic piece on top, and this one was almost finished. Like I said, this is expensive. So with the plastic piece still in place, it literally left about this much in the can, because the way that this plastic piece is designed, it's just this nipple, and the nipple goes down about this far down into the can. So my best bet to you, do like I did, just pop the top off, and everything came pouring out. Yeah, I started the car. I turned the steering wheel to get the fluid into the system. Turned the steering wheel. Everything is good. Nothing is leaking. I'm very happy. Again, until something else happens with this Mini Cooper. As you know, this is my problem child. But I got the wheel back on. I'm gonna get it off the jacks in a moment, and you know, just take it for a test drive. But yeah, you know, you guys found this helpful. If you have any questions, please, I would love to answer any questions that you guys have that I, you know, have knowledge about. So, you know, please like, subscribe, and if you know someone that needs this information, send them the link. All right, until next time, guys. Peace.